Hi there, welcome to Kapow WoW Maths. Today what we will be doing is looking at rounding to the nearest 100, okay? And as we said before, if you looked at the previous one, I put here together the rhyme to help you remember. 0, 1 to 4, you round up, down to the floor. 5 to 9, you round up to the sky. And there's my little clouds, if you like them or not. So that's very important. So we'll look at some simple ones, and then we will, again, start with small numbers, then go to bigger numbers, okay? So let's start with, now if you looked at the previous one before, rounding to nearest 10, we circled the nearest 10. So if we're rounding to nearest 100, we have to circle the hundreds first, okay? So if I have 721, okay? So let's have a look at that. And again, like we did before, let's put in our place value names, units, tens and hundreds, okay? Now if we look at that, we've then got to highlight the actual 100. So let's highlight the 100. Which number is the 100? It is 7. Excellent. So that's our 100, and like we did before, we are going to go next door. Now this is the number when we start to do the rhyme, okay? So 721, so we've got the 2. Now that's the number we're going to round up or down. That will tell us whether to round up or down. So let's go. 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. It's a 2. So we're going to round down. Now if we round up, it would be 800. But if we round down, it would be 700. Excellent. Okay, so we'll do a few examples of these. And like I said, what you can do is pause before I finish it, so you can have a go at doing it. Let's have a look at another one. What happens if we have 564? Okay, so let's do those place values. Now what you might want to do is you might want to pause it after any question and see if you can do it correctly. Okay, so 564, we need to circle the 100 because we're rounding to the nearest 100. So the number, which is 100, is the 5. Excellent. Okay, so what we need to do is then go next door to the 6. Right, now 0, we're looking at that number, the 6 now. Okay, so 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor, which would be 500. If we round it up, it would be 600 because that's the next 100 after 500. So it's a 6. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. Okay, so let's see. So if we have a look at this, it's a 6, 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. We're rounding up, so what's the next 100 after 500? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and then that is 600, okay? And it's as easy as that. Now usually in your class you may come up with questions like this, but again, talking about them test questions, they will try to make the number bigger than 100, so it might be a 4-digit figure, and we'll work towards those as well. If we have 836, okay, so let's try and put our place values in there. So we've got the units, tens and hundreds. Okay, so if we look at that, now we're rounding again to the nearest 100, remember, so we need to circle that 100. It's very important you do this every time, because every time you do your workings out like this, you are more likely to get it correct and less likely to make mistakes. Now we need to, what do we need to do? Yes, we need to go next door, so go to that number before. So it's a 3, so remember, 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky, so it's a 3. We're going to round down. So the 100 after 800 is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. But we're rounding down, so the 100 before 900 is 800. Okay, so we write that carefully in there. Okay, so it's all about just taking your time. You've got to do a workings out which suits you, and if you, I've got to say, this way is a very, I believe, a clear, simple way. We'll do some other ones. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write some numbers now. So I'm going to, here we go, and you can pause it after this to see if you can get it correct. Okay, so let's do 4. And let's do a 9, 5. Right, so what you can do, and I'm going to do my place values here, you can pause this now and then test yourself, because The best learners are the ones that try to learn by themselves sometimes. So you can pause that now, pause that, and see if you can get it correct. Okay, so, right, rounding to the nearest 100. Again, we need to circle that 100, so it's a 6. We go next door. Okay, so what we need to do is, we need to get that arrow and go to that 8. Okay, so now we've gone to that 8. Remember, 0, 1 to 4, round down to 4, it's not there. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. Yes, we're going to round up. So what's the next 100 after 600? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Okay? Oh, it's as easy peasy, clean and squeezy as that. Well done. Right, let's go to 524. Again, we circled the 100 because we are rounding. The question is rounding to nearest 100. So we're going to circle that 5, that's the 100. We're then going to go next door. Okay? Right, and now it's a 2. This number is what we're looking at now. So 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. 5 to 9, 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. And it's a 2, so we round down. So if we round up, the next 100 after 500 would be 600. Therefore, the 100 below is 500. So we have gone down. Okay, so 500 is less than 524. And 495, the number which is 100 is the 4. Okay, and the number before is what we're going to look at, and that's the 9. So what are we going to do? Remember, 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. It's a 9, so we're going to round up. So the next 100 after 400, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Excellent. Now, if you're finding that easy, or you've improved, well done. Let's try and move on to ones where we're still rounding to 100, but like I say, in a test or maybe in your exercise book or textbook, they might start to go to bigger numbers like this. Okay, so let's do like that. Okay, so again, let's do those place values. So we've got units, tens, hundreds, and then thousands. And again, we don't need to panic. Let's go at this simply. So we're rounding to nearest 100, so we are going to circle 100. So where is the 100 there? 1, 2, or the 6, 6. It's the 2. Okay, so we've got 200, 1,266. Okay, so we need to make sure we go before that. Okay, so remember, we're looking at that number before. So now that's a 6. Okay, so now what we need to do is just make sure we do that. So 1, 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. It's a 6. We're rounding up. So the next 100, now again, cover that over. And if we cover that over, that is going to be, the next 100 after 200 is 100, 200, 300. So it's 1,300. As simple as that, okay? So have a look at that. Oh, I'll just get focused. Have a look at that and make sure that's as easy as you can make it, okay? Any questions, please? We'll do 2 more, okay? So let's try and do another one here. So let's do 3,671, okay? And again, do those carefully. Again, put your place values in, units, tens. The more you do this, the easier it is. And when it comes to a test or questions in your class, you'll understand place value places. Now we're rounding to the nearest 100. You could pause this now if you want and try and see if you can get it correct and then play it, okay? Dare you. I dare you to do that. Go. See if you can beat Mr. Chris and get it correct before I do. Right. So we need to circle, because we're rounding to the nearest 100, we need to circle 100. So the 100 is the 6. We know because we've done our workings out. We then look at the number before, which is the 7 in the 70, yeah? And it's a 7. So 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. Well, we're rounding up. So if we've got 600, the next 100 after 600 is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. So it'll be 3,700. Excellent. And it's as easy as that. Okay. Now I think I'm just going to do one more now. What I will do. Let's really push ourselves. So let's go to like that. Okay. Let's try and do these 2. And what I would like for you to do is maybe See if you can pause this now and then try to do that. I'm going to put my place values in units, tens and hundreds and thousands. Units, tens, hundreds and thousands. Right, you try to do that now. You can pause it if you want. That's a very good way of pushing and learning your way in a very effective way. Right, so if you've played it or you've carried on watching this, let's circle. Now we're going to circle the hundreds because we're rounding to the nearest 100. So the 100 is, we've got it in our workings out, is the 7. But we need to look at the number before, and it's this number, the 8. Okay, right. Now it's an 8, so 0, 1 to 4 we round down. We're not rounding down, it's an 8. So it's 5 to 9, we round up. So you could cover that 3. And what's the next 100 after 700? 3, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. Don't forget the 1,000 though. Some children I've seen do that in a test. It's not the right answer. Don't forget that number. 3,800. Okay, and let's see if we can get that last one done. 8,739. Okay, so we're going to circle that 100. So the 100 there, we know because of our workings out is the 7. We're going to go next door. Now it's a 3. So what we're going to round up or round down? 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. It's 3, and we round down. So it can't be 7. It can't be 800. That's when you round up. It's going to be 8,700. Okay. Just be careful. So there you go. Thank you for watching Kapow WoW Maths, and if there's any questions or comments, please put them down so I can learn from you and improve from you. If you've enjoyed it, please put a comment. Thank you for watching Kapow WoW Maths.